Hello, I'm Evernoob, and I got something a little different this time around rather than my survival series. Got some new structure ideas that could be added into Minecraft. This is almost like a Trails and Tales expansion, mainly focused on like the pottery shards and stuff. At least one of them is heavily, and it's the one that it's my favorite. But my second favorite is this first one, so we'll go here first. This is the Ruined Monument, as you can see. And I tried to incorporate a bit of puzzle solving and stuff. This one, I think, would have to be some weird kind of magic code in the game. If we come up here, we can see, if you get the, stand in the center maybe, that's like the full moon, waning crescent, gibbous, I don't know the names of the phases, but there's the last bit before it goes away entirely, no moon, and then it comes back around again. So what's the trick here? And it's all really overgrown, be an iron block with a clock in the middle just to show daytime. Also cool way to have clocks in the game. But yeah, it's heavily based on Stonehenge if we jump back and look at it, kind of. These are just kind of like rocks laying across. No real distinct thing. But the puzzle here would be, as you can see, two of these daylight sensors are on, right? Well, why are they on in the day? That doesn't make any sense. So you'd have to come up here. This isn't really even that big of a puzzle, but switch them to off, and then if we how do you change day to night cycle? Right. Well, I will have to wait it out here until it is nighttime, which looks like it might be approaching. But once you have these hooked up, the first night when these are all ready, it'll like initiate an event, and basically you get like loot from the cosmos if you go to the right one. So you have to be at this temple at night and or deactivate the ones that are activated in the day, and then if it ever turns night, so now we have the moon coming up, and these have been activated, which has triggered the event, and I'll probably have some cool sound with it, and it looks like it's mostly full minus just that little bit. So probably could even not have them crescent like this and more match that, but that would be probably this one. And underneath each of these pillars is a barrel, and these would be the loot, right? However, if you pick the wrong barrel, let's say it's supposed to be this one, and you accidentally pick, you know, any of the other ones, then you lose that loot. But you can do this for each one of these, right? So it's just a cool little mini puzzle I had in mind for, I mean, I don't know if the loot would always change or stay the same. Like, I thought of these items because I built the moons out of calcite, right? Slime spawn more frequently, especially on the no moon or whatever. Wayfinder, like using the stars to guide your way. Shelter, you usually seek shelter at night. And then mushrooms grow better at night. Well, they grow in dark, I should say, but yeah, that's kind of the idea behind that loot there. But yeah, a cool little mini puzzle slash, and I wanted to keep these structures more vanilla in my brain there. But yeah, each one of these has a barrel, so like the triggering of the event would actually be what fills up the loot thing, and then each loot could be specified to each moon phase too. I think that'd be a really cool little deal. But that's the idea for the Ruined Monument. So moving on. So the next one is one I started building with a concept in mind, and it just became too much, and I don't think it should be in the game. It's just a little too over the top. Let's see, it's over here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, it's labeled question mark. Because in my head, I really wish there was a way to obtain reinforced deep slate. Like, just to build with. It's kind of weird to have a block like that looks that neat or that kind of specific, but you can't move it. Like, it has no function. It's literally just for a look in one area. I don't know how much I like it, but the idea initially for this started out as like this would be an extremely rare thing. I just put it in the plains, but like this would be like the most rare thing in the overworld. But if we go down, obviously I dug this, but yeah, we kind of land in a weird space. There's End City, Soul Sand. This is what I like when I think of with the introduction of the ancient mobs, stuff like that. I can picture more of easy travel in like the lore of Minecraft between the different realms. So that's kind of the idea behind this whole thing. But yeah, it's just a treasure trove of everything, and like the rarest stuff, which is why this would have to be a super rare structure, like 1 per world, 10 like plus 20,000 blocks away. I don't even know. No map to get there. I really don't. It really shouldn't be in Minecraft because I went way over the top with this, as you'll see. But yeah, these diamond and bone arches. This is supposed to be like the fossil. Maybe a fossil would be the entryway, and obviously we got gilded blackstone. And the reason I built this all out of like reinforced deep slate is this would be, maybe it would just be enforced deep slate, not reinforced. I don't know, but this would be actually the deep slate you could pick up and bring home. Here we got a wall of suspicious sand. Here we got a wall of suspicious gravel. Oops. Yeah, and then I filled this up, and then I was like, wait. Yeah, but yeah, these chests would have the reinforced deep slate and end portals too. These wouldn't be functional, kind of like when you take the Shrieker away from an end city. It doesn't summon a warden anymore. These would no longer light up anything. Gilded blackstone, like lodestones in the floor, like all this is mineable. And then you'd have like a little almost diorama of an end portal, but clearly it's like it's been tried to work with other things. And over here, an attempt at making a wither. And then yeah, some more suspicious gravel. This is just a giant, obviously, loot area. So yeah, super rare. Probably shouldn't be in the game, but I kind of started making it and just thought I'd see it through. Put the weirdest stuff in here. Maybe you could even have... No, you probably shouldn't. But I was thinking you could have like a few bits of bedrock you could build with, although that could get really annoying because if you place it... It'd be cool if you had places you could loot bedrock, but then once you place it, you literally can't break it without doing like, the piston tricks or whatever. Be kind of funny. But yeah, that's it for that. But anyways, on to the next thing. This is the abandoned foundry. So this is just old rundown building. I want to give credit to what's the guy? It's Marlow on YouTube. This is kind of like built on his simple design. I've just expanded it a bit, run it down a bit. But yeah, in here, super smelter. But as you can see, these rails aren't powered up in the back, or this one is. So there's a lever here. Oops. What is powering that? But yeah, this is his super smelter design. So you come around the one corner, you would have lava dripping from dripstone, and then around the other side you'd have a barrel and some raw ores. And then in here, I think this would be neat, since just having a spot where you can actually get charcoal in the game, and then also wood, since you don't really get that in the game naturally. Or maybe you do, but I just never notice it. But yeah, that would be the kind of, it's a simpler, you know, these would be a little bit more common. But yeah, the puzzle for this would be, you actually have to, you know, come around, turn on the other one. You have to turn on the rails to get this thing working before you can use it. Really not sure why that one is on. And as we can see, the rails are there. There are on now. So this is on. The only thing left to be this. And boom. Now it would be functional for super smelting. Again, not much to it, but kind of a fun little design thing. I'm still really confused by this one constantly being on before, but it is fine. Yeah, this is the bunker. And this would be a really... This is almost like an early game thing. Maybe in fields or something. It's come in here. Chest, just some simple starting stuff. Some food, torches, bed, crafting table. And obviously this is meant so you could look out. If you had a bow and arrow, you could shoot. But yeah, it's kind of like a hideaway that's just been left. There's not really much to it. Again, I'm trying to mix, like, trying to keep things vanilla and mix, like, really common structures. Like, when I thought of this and another one further down the line, I was kind of thinking in lines of, like, the desert well. Where it's cool to have in the game. Gives you a little bit of lore, like somebody made it, but not much to it. Same with this. Somebody's obviously used this to hide out, but they've left it. But that's all there is there. The next one, the aqueduct. And this, I think, adds a decent chunk to the lore. Just having one of these would be cool. And at the bottom of one of these feet, I gotta remember, one of the legs, the supporting legs, I think it's this one, there would be 4, yeah, lapis lazuli blocks at the bottom as like a prize. But yeah, just finding this, seeing this in the world would be really cool, I think. Because you can let everything grow around just like I have. I just cut that through, but going up it, there's another little secret in here. No, little puzzle. Again, I tried to incorporate some sort of a puzzle into all of these to varying degrees of success, but yeah, if you came down here, right in this corner, as you can see, there's a stair. You want to follow that. Obviously, you'd break it with a pickaxe, not like in creative like I just did. But yeah, you'd have a little bit suspicious sand. And then, yeah, I got really obsessed with the color blue and water stuff for this. Also, some clay pots. I think clay pots and sherds should be much more, what is the word, accessible for the exploration thing. Because right now it's really time consuming. You get like almost so little. But yeah, lapis lazuli, ice, more lapis, there's lapis ore, blue candles. I just thought of water, and this obviously at some point was meant to be like somebody's little hideout or whatever. Sand, blue concrete powder, sand, gravel, blue dye, cornflower. And then, yeah, the turtles, potion of water breathing, some food, prismarine crystals. Just a little something. Make it all worthwhile. But yeah, a way to make something simple like this kind of interesting. Or give it a little bit of an extra worthwhile when adventuring. But on to the next one. This is another real starter type one, but this is the campground. And this is obviously, this would spawn on beaches randomly. There wouldn't be much to it. You have a campfire you could start up if you want to cook something. just some sleeping bags, and then a barrel would be nearby with, you know, some stuff to get you along the way. Like you can make a pickaxe. Since it's on beaches, you can, you know, you could fish for some food and whatnot. But yeah, not too much to it. Just a little mini structure, kind of like the desert temple, kind of like the bunker. Just brings a little bit of ambience and lore into the world. And finally, the last one. This is my favorite, and I don't know if I call what I originally was going to call it. So it's either the monolith or the obelisk, but it is this guy. And before I get into it, here's a little build hack if you want to make it look like you're sucking sap out of the... Actually, you know what? If you want, maybe orange would work better. Taking sap out of the tree. Although you have to move the tree over one, because if you go like this, it obviously connects. So, but cool little build hack. You want to make it look like you're tapping out some syrup of some kind. But one thing I think would be really cool is if you could take dye and dye these faces on the pottery sherds, or once you make the pot. And then since this is kind of the terracotta color, just make it the color of the terracotta, you know, there. I think that'd work. That'd be a really cool way to customize these things and really kind of get people into it, I think. At least I would like to do that. But anyways, this is the obelisk. And why is it my favorite? Well, it combines a lot of the new features. This was one I think should just be like an expansion almost on Trails and Tales, but it also combines, if you... I don't know how many people... I haven't even played it myself, but played the new Minecraft Legends, where it's all about like the past lore, a hypothetical / maybe it is history or whatever. But there's three beings called the hosts, and one of them has 4 eyes. I'll put him on screen right now. This is meant to mirror that, and he, they, she, I'm not sure, but they're the one that's like, I think they're knowledge. I will look this up and confirm and put a little poster on here right now. But yeah, they're like the host of knowledge or whatever, and they have 4 eyes. So what, with being able to, you know, combine 4 pottery shards, these right here would all be the same symbol on each side. And if you think of it as 1, 2, 3, 4, you now have the first piece of a puzzle. Now, next to this, there'd be like a clay pot just kind of laying out. And under that clay pot is nothing. Just kidding. You gotta dig down a little bit, and you fall down here. And so, if we remember our numbers from up there, you'd have these 4 chambers down here. And since there's 20 pottery shards, I think this would be a really cool way to add, you know, a bunch of puzzles to the game. So you can see we've entered a little chamber here. We've got Minecraft. We've got a hopper here. Well, this is 1 candle. If we remember one on there, that was the diamond shard. Or the prize, I think it's called. But if you read in here, so much to treasure, it's almost mystic. Unlocking this never without the music. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically all these would be like an unlocking sequence. And again, I don't know if it'd have to be like an event thing. Obviously, there's also some suspicious gravel around here. But, so yeah. Obviously, it's a clue as to what you have to put in here. So, what do we have in this barrel? Well, it looks like some treasure, right? And then some coal. What could it mean? There, now I'm in survival. And now, so, whatever is in this room, you should be able to get and make happen. So, these were in there, right? Presuming we have nothing else in our inventory. What can we do with all this? Well, because yeah, this, I'm kind of looking at my hotbars like my only inventory right now, so we can make a crafting table. And then make sticks. And obviously, if you have any of this stuff on you, it would just make it easier. Oops. I wanted to make a crafting table, silly. Now that I've got the crafting table, I can mine some of this, right? There. Now that I've got that, I also have this extra. I don't think I put enough in there. Okay, so now I've got all the cobblestone out of there. Now, I can make a furnace. Obviously all this would be redundant if you found one of these much later in the game. But, boom. Obviously there's coal in there. The emerald and the gold are literally just for, you know, actual treasure and some bonuses. But the point we're trying to get at here is based on this clue. Have you figured out what we need yet? Boom, now we've got 3. Can make an iron pickaxe. And now we can go in here, go through all this treasure. This is also, you know, just bonus treasure at this point. Aha! Diamonds. Now the thing that would... Actually, maybe that makes it more interesting, having it be the stone diamond variant, since that's very rare. But now, we have diamonds. But that's not what goes in there without the music. This is a very poor explanation of what was in my head, but boom. What does it need? It needs a jukebox. And you heard that first piston go. And now this room is solved. So now we're on to the next one. So now we need to find the one with 2. That's 3 candles. Here's 2. Oh, a little different. But yeah, each one would have this same hopper at the end. That's for the item. So now, what do we need? A lovely name or a ribbiter's dream. The plant could be used to cross a swamp scheme. It's pretty self-explanatory. What do we have? Oops. Then I messed it up. I made the clues and I'm the one screwing them up. So obviously, you could really just keep the crafting table from any other spot too, but so do these drop string when you do it by hand? No, they don't. Okay, so there'd have to be something in there to make a sword then, so you could do that. Get the string, because you need 2. Then ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Oops, that's not right at all. Dun 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 dun. There we go, fishing rod. Because this number 2, if you remember, was the angler sherd. So now we've got this own little mini thing. This dugout water pit, and you have to fish up. Huh, I wonder how long this would take me to do if I just sat here until I got what I actually needed. Cod. Well, that's not a ribbiter's dream. Well, I will cheat here. Each one of these has the answer in them, so I think it's to the right. Yes. The lily pad. Ribbiter's dream can cross, you know, a scheme. Whatever I said for my clues aren't the greatest, but yeah, the lily pad is the key. And da-da. So now we gotta remember what 3 was. Because I think to make this more interesting, you actually wouldn't have this here. it'd be a memory thing. But yeah, this is 3 candles. Signifying it's the 3rd one up. So, this is shelter. Now, I'm not sure if... I think that's supposed to be a tree. Looking at that was my guess. So, the fruit of one's eye, the obsession of nether swine, combined together regenerates life. I'm not reading that in a very poetic or rhymey way, but so what do we have in here? We have saplings, gold, bone meal, spruce, and another log. Well, I think clearly we're going to need saplings. If that tree is anything to go off, we probably have to go tree, right? Because there's not much else we can do with what's in here. So, grow a tree. There we go. Yeah, and as you progress through it, you do generally get more and more, you know, kind of things to make the task easier. But yeah, it's all about solving puzzles. So, the apple, or the fruit of one's eye, obviously an apple, and the obsession of nether swine, the hoglins, or piglins, I guess it would be. We need to get an apple out of here, is the goal. And then I messed up what I was saying. The nether swine part, their obsession is gold. So we're specifically looking for a golden apple. But rather than going through this, like, there should be enough stuff. Oh, I did get an apple. Did I already have that in my inventory? I'm not sure. But I do have it right here. So, yeah, this is looking for a golden apple. Put that in. 3rd thing complete, and then finally we're on to the last one here. 4 candles. The sherd was morning, which is kind of look like a picture of the warden. What do we have? The deepest of slates, this haunting figure looms. His visage is chiseled in these ancient ruins. So it's, you know, talking about the ancient city, obviously. And we have deep slate and some, you know, random stuff. What do we gotta do? Well, since I already have the pickaxe, I'm just gonna take the deep slate out and go like this and break it down with my pickaxe to cobble deep slate. Obviously, me knowing the riddle really helps in solving it, but this is pretty clear one. His visage is chiseled, right? Well, we need to make a stone cutter. I'm not sure if this is entirely intuitive, but it's meant to be kind of mystic or whatever. But yeah, chiseled deep slate. We need one of those. That is the key. Now, the reason I put 5 other ones in there, in case, you know, somebody wasn't sure, was just getting stuck in the ancient city, made the bricks, made the deep slate tiles. You know, these wouldn't actually be the key. But I figure if you have enough in there, then by just trying all of them, you eventually get the deep slate bit. And now, this bit right here. Let's go back to creative. Will have opened up because there would actually be smart Mojang people who know how to do redstone to make that all work or something. But yeah, that is like the puzzles of the obelisk, right? And then we come down here, or once that opens up, see there's a ladder. You have to build up to it, and you go up the ladder, and boom. 3 barrels, this would be where the actual loot is. I didn't really think of loot too much for this, but yeah, this would be like the kind of there's, you know, diamonds, emeralds, all the kind of cool loot in the game. And that is that. As you can see, we're actually inside it there. There's a frog light at the bottom. But yeah, that's sort of my idea for like a puzzle game of the new Obelisk. Now, I think the reason this would also work really good, this little puzzle game, is there are 20 of these. So you could have, you know, a whole lot of combos of different, you know, one could be parkour, one could be fighting something, creeper, I don't, you know, bow, maybe you have to hit a certain target block from a really, you know, weird angle or far distance. I think there's just a lot you can do just going off, you know, the lore behind every one of these symbols. So that was the big inspiration for this. Now, not only that, but we also have these 3 different styles, and these would be for just like the frogs. You know, there's the temperate one, that's like the one I was just in, it's exact replica. Then our cold biome, which what I was grabbing these for, if you noticed down in the actual obelisk puzzle itself, these were the only 3 blocks around down in there. Obviously with some suspicious gravel thrown in as well, but you could do that same thing with every one of these, dependent on, you know, biome. This guy, I'd keep the top kind of the same, which is why I've done it, just because it matches the pots. I didn't make any new pots or anything, but yeah, same deal. You have a cold version of it, and then you'd have the hot version of it as well, or vice versa. Anyways, that's the idea for the obelisks. I think that'd be a cool thing to, like, the trail runes are pretty cool and pretty big, but they're just really time consuming. I think this probably is equally as time consuming, but it seems, you know, more enjoyable, where you gotta think, come up with solutions to these little puzzles, and just having the setup, especially since Legends has the host figure. I think this like really fits in with the lore of Minecraft and is a fun puzzle game and has so much possibility for, as I said, all the different mini games. There's so much you can do with just this single concept. Like, I probably could have just made 20 different puzzle games and just had this be the whole video, but anyways, I hope you found that interesting. I certainly would love to see this thing in the game, and yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. I've been Evernoob. Like if you like, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in whatever I'm doing next. Bye bye.